The car's on fire, and there's no driver at the wheel. And the sewers are all muddied with 1,000 lonely suicides. And a dark wind blows. The government is corrupt. And we're on so many drugs with the radio on and the curtains drawn. We're trapped in the belly of this horrible machine. And the machine is bleeding to death.
Aurora Avenue. If you live near Seattle, you've seen the sprawl of strip malls and shops that feed off of it. As such, you probably also wondered where it all came from. The earliest history of Aurora began with the Fort Steilacoom-Fort Bellingham Military Road. Constructed in 1860, the road was built to service wagons. Obviously, the asphalt-paved hub of industry that unknown thousands of people commute on daily is a bit different from this. This change mainly happened due to the Seattle World's Fair. The World's Fair attracted immense tourism, leading Aurora to build up its motorist infrastructure and to construct motels. The transition from wagon road to motorist mecca makes Aurora an incredibly confusing place to be. One aspect of this confusion is seen in its definition. Through the World's Fair, Aurora lost the bounds of the Fort Steilacoom-Fort Bellingham Military Road. That is to say, Aurora doesn't have marked starts and ends. Its beginning and end are up to argument. At most, it encapsulates a majority of State Route 99. At least, it holds only the area between its street signs. No one person really knows the Goldilocks zone where Aurora lives. It's only defined by consensus. This is only a small aspect of why Aurora is the way it is today. When the World's Fair left, the tourists that Aurora was built for started leaving too. Housing prices shot upwards as a result. Aurora was left with the people who couldn't afford to leave. Aurora was designed for cars. Yet still, people live on its streets. The same fact of expensive housing displacing people onto Aurora is true to today. In King County in 2006, there was a homeless population of 7,910. 9 years later, in 2015, the population grew to 10,047. In another 9 years, in 2024, the homeless population was 16,868. Year over year, homelessness is growing. Month after month, these people, because that is what they are, people, need help and aren't getting it. Day after day, people are left unsheltered on this road. Parents, children, friends, all disappearing while we drive by. But these aren't the only people struggling on Aurora. Prostitution runs rampant. The motels built up during the World's Fair are put to work still. The people who walk the streets of Aurora face fear and grief beyond anything I can describe daily, involving routine extortion and abuse from pimps and johns. Hope for survival is what drives this. Not the want to keep going, but the innate need to survive. It would be remiss not to mention the role that drugs play in the cycle of prostitution. People can get addicted in hopes of companionship or a good time early on and end up seeing a given drug as important to survival as food. Their abusers become their method of survival in this. The commuters see both of these people on their trips to their own method of survival. There's little joy found in the commute. The verve that once painted the shops on the side streets of Aurora has rusted away. Or so I'm told. All of the photos I can find of the World's Fair's Aurora are colorless. Perhaps it only ever was a tool for survival as it is now. colored in by rose-tinted glasses. None of this is to say that despair is the only facet of survival seen on Aurora. There are government efforts to make the Avenue a better place for the people. Specifically, the Aurora Ave project from the Seattle Department of Transportation focuses on bettering the lives of the commuters of Aurora. There's action focused towards homelessness, such as the Aurora House and other shelters. And there's action against prostitution, like the boost in funding in January to combat sex trafficking. The titanic struggle of survival on Aurora is not nearly cured by these efforts. Regardless, the hope for bettering Aurora seen in these is evidence that people care for other people to survive. To conclude, Aurora isn't defined as a typical avenue with a beginning and an end pinned on a map. Instead, Aurora is in the motels, the drugstores, the fast food restaurants, the car dealerships, the smoke shops, and the liquor stores that span its asphalt, finding a way to tomorrow. Aurora Avenue begins and ends with the people who live, die, and survive it.